I just want to do a deposition on my dad. My dad is not to be trusted. He's my conservator and guardian in the event I go to jail or I'm hospitalized for more than 12 hours. Now look, I did this under the agreement that he wouldn't fuck me over. And now he's fucking me over. Alright? I just want him to stay out of my life and let me live it. I was at the Midway bar and I was there by myself to get dinner. I had invited my girlfriend Carrie down. This was on May 12th, between the hours of like 5 and 7 p.m. I was sitting there waiting for Carrie, and my dad reached out to her and was like, hey, on Facebook Messenger, and said, hey, can I talk to you about Tim? And she agreed and called my dad. He initiated the conversation on Facebook. She called my dad. They talked, and in that conversation, she told my dad I was going to be down at the Midway. I was waiting. I didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden, my dad walks in, comes in, sits down next to me, and makes accusations. He says I'm on drugs. He says I'm off my medication. He says I'm manic. All things he's not qualified to assess because he's an electrical engineer, not a psychiatrist. He doesn't have any blood work. He doesn't have any drug tests, right? And so I tell him that. And I'm like, look, you can't do that. He then proceeds to say that he opened my mail and found a package of marijuana. Well, I know for a fact that package wasn't addressed to me. Okay? All right? I know. Okay? The man's opening my mail, snooping around, hitting on my girlfriend for information. That's stalking and harassment. I am not under his conservator and guardianship and haven't been since 2024. He pulls out his phone and he says, I'm calling the police to put you in a mental institution. And I was like, not having it. Now he's threatening me. He's attacking me with the police, right? I take his phone to protect myself and I run outside and I pretend to throw it and then I toss it in a garbage can just to hide it, right? I walk back inside, come around the bar. He comes running with a plate full of hot wings, throws them on me, hitting me with the tray, assaulting me, and I shoved him back, right? The staff at the bar intervened. I wasn't going to do anything else. I could see the fear in his eyes, right? I'm bigger than him. I'm stronger than him, right? I didn't have to flex any harder than that. Put my hands up. Staff escorted me out. I said, hey, look, I was defending myself. He was not invited here. I did not intend to see him, and he came at me. And they were like, okay. The staff went back inside, asked, right? They came back out. They were like, do you have money for your tab? I gave them some money, right? Paid the tab. They brought back change. And they said, look, don't come back tonight, but you're welcome to come back later, right? And I was like, fine. And they're like, but your dad is 86 for life from the Midway bar. And I was like, awesome. I drove, I left, and went to the Highlander, ordered wings, because I was hungry, and I sat down by myself in the corner of the bar, not bothering anybody, eating my chicken wings. A few hours go by, police roll in. Is Tim Schimandle here? And staff says, yeah. And they're like, have there been any issues with him? Staff says, no issues. But this police come over. They say, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, am I being detained? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, am I under investigation for a crime? And they said, yes. Right? And I said, what crime? And they didn't say. All right? They didn't say. That's a question they have to answer, honestly. But they didn't say. They proceeded to ask me a few questions. Right? Some of them I answered. Some of them I didn't. We had some conversation. They were there for about a half hour, 45 minutes. They said, well, the reason we're out here is a wellness check to make sure you're okay. And I was like, I'm fine. I sat there politely, calmly talked to them, right? And they were like, you look good. We're going to leave. The police felt like I was okay. I just want to say I'm not manic, right? I'm in control of my own behavior. And if anything happens to me, if anything happens to me, right, then look at my dad. He's the one driving all of this craziness. I don't trust him. He's not my friend. I don't love him at all. He's dead to me, right? That man is psychotic and trying to take over my life when I'm doing just fine. I've got money, right? I'm doing good. If I could spend my time looking for work, I could get a job in a couple days, right? But instead, my time's tied up dealing with legal shit from him. And that's just not the behavior a conservator or guardian should be doing, be involved in.